All right, family, we are in second and short. There is a huge matchup, maybe the biggest matchup in all of college football this year, between number 8 USC on the road against Deion Sanders and the Colorado Buffaloes. Now, remember, Buffaloes got blown out. It was embarrassing against Oregon last week. Meanwhile, Trojans are trying to stay in the national championship picture. Shady, this is my favorite question of the day because, again, there is no wrong answer. Who needs a win more? Is it USC, national championship hopes? Is it Colorado, who just got whooped against Oregon with the whole world watching?
It got to be USC. You look at the number 10 Oregon Ducks, what they did to Colorado. They put up was 42-6. That's a spanking, right? Spanking. So my thing is, if I'm the number 8 school in the country and I'm trying to play for a national championship, and I have probably the best player in college football with Caleb Williams, why shouldn't it be a must-win game? If this team could beat them 42-6, and they're number 10 in the country, and we're number 8,
that's a good point.
You got to win this game, right? And it got to be by a big fashion. It can't be no close game. You're looking at the quarterback matchups, right? With Shedeur Sanders and you got Caleb Williams. That's going to be a big matchup. Spotlight's out there. It's a big day. You got to win. You got to show up, and you got to show out. So my thing is, if you ask about the most pressure and who has to win, it's got to be USC.
It's not even a question. It's USC.
Yeah.
If Colorado wins this game, it's going to flip college football upside down. We can't even play the rest of the season.
So crazy they win this game? Oh, my God.
It's impossible. USC cannot allow Colorado to win this game.
We're in the backpack.
USC's at 8 now. They have national championship aspirations. If they lose to Colorado, that's essentially over because Oregon is ranked 9 now. They would catapult up because that beating of Colorado would look even more substantial if they beat USC. USC is going to drop all the way down.
Even Washington.
I mean, it was chaos. It'll be utter chaos. It's like, what do you even do? I don't want to be in that room making those decisions. So there's no way that USC can lose this game. And they just played Arizona State, 42-28. Arizona State is currently 1-3, and they were within one score with 8 minutes remaining in the game against USC. So you talk about having to win in style. They really have to win in style. Oregon is right there behind them, and they just beat them convincingly. So USC has a lot on the line. With the Heisman Trophy winner, no.
James, let me get in here because obviously I think the consensus is USC, but I want to make a push for Colorado. Now, I agree with y'all in totality. Let me make a push for why Colorado has to win this game. If Colorado does not win this game, they fall into anonymity. Everybody and their mama has been talking about Colorado all season long. Last week, you had 60 Minutes. You had Big Noon. You had Game Day. You had Wayne. You had The Rock. Everybody was talking about USC. This week, allegedly, LeBron James, Jay-Z going to be there. George Taylor, LeSean McCoy going to be there. James Jones going to be there.
We're going to be there, though, not allegedly.
I mean, I might get invited. So I'm thinking about it like everybody is talking about Colorado. But if you 3-2, what are we talking about you for? We better go talk about Dame. What are we talking about you for? We got to talk about the Miami Dolphins. What are we talking about you for? And what we've been talking about you for. There's a lot of 3-2 teams around here. There's a lot of teams that were supposed to win one game and have won 3. There are a lot of them. Duke beat Clemson, America. That's a basketball school. Duke is currently undefeated, America. Like, what are we talking about you for?
That's a good point,
And so if Colorado loses, it's almost like, okay, cool, that was a cute little story, but all I can hear reverberating in my mind is rooted in substance. That's all now I will be able to hear. I'm like, man, maybe that Oregon coach was up to something. Maybe they were just flash. Maybe they were just Hollywood. Maybe they aren't rooted in substance. So that would be my case for Colorado, though obviously USC has to win too.
No doubt. USC has to win this game. Prime and them wasn't even supposed to be talked about. Like, this was a 1-11 football team that Prime took. They weren't even supposed to be. They were supposed to win 2 games if it was up to Vegas and these other people. They're not even supposed to be in this position, right? So if they do go to 3-2, they're in a much better position than they were last year, right? So for me, the pressure is not on Prime because Prime came out and told us, just give me some time to get this thing. He let you know that we coming. He let you know that we here, once they started the football season, but he also let us know it's a lot of work to do. I got to build these it's a lot of work to do. USC is number 8 right now. National championship on their mind. Heisman winning quarterback on their football team. This is a must-win for the coach and USC. And not only that, it's a must-win for the quarterback. Because if Shedeur goes out here and outplays the quarterback and wins and beats him head-to-head, who knows what's it going to look like? Because if, like you said, Acho, if Prime wins this game, it's going to be big noon again there sometime soon. There's going to be more stories there sometime next week. So it's going to be much more A-list celebrities there next week, too, wherever they play at. So with that being said, it's going to be even more attention on Colorado if they get this thing done. If USC does not get this thing done, I think the Heisman Trophy winner is at stake, and definitely them not going to the national championship.
I got a question for you, Joy. You have two nephews playing college football, I believe LSU and Arizona, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
Let's talk a little bit about the recruiting of it all, because that matters. That matters. And when you think about the landscape of college football, Lincoln Riley went to a 4-8 USC team, and the next year they were 11-3. And now they 4-0. So what Lincoln has done at USC, it's a big deal, too. And remember, USC was in shambles. They've run through coaches and run through athletic directors. They just hired a new athletic director 2 weeks ago.
So you mean to tell me Colorado's roster and USC roster was the same talent when these coaches got
No, what
them?
I'm saying is there are a lot of coaches that have done impressive things.
No doubt.
And Lincoln is also one of them.
Right.
So now when you land this plane at recruiting, because that is what truly matters, if Colorado loses this game, when you think about recruiting, because you know it very nearly and you know it very dearly, how does that impact Colorado's ability to get better in the future by acquiring the future 5-star?
I don't think it affects it at all because Deion's still there. And his pitch is, you saw what happened when we were winning. You saw the attention that we got when we were winning. You saw the celebrities that were on the sideline when we were winning. You come and play for me, and you can be a part of that. You can help us beat those teams like Oregon. Imagine what that would look like when we beat Oregon. Imagine what that would look like when we beat USC, when we're competing for a national championship game. That happened when we won three games against teams nobody thinks anything about. Imagine what we're going to do when we win these big ones, and you can help us do that. Thank you. There you go. Just cut that out for you. Just play that for the players. Now, I don't think it affects it at all because Deion is the culture and Deion is the recruiter. He recruited everywhere he's been, and he hasn't had the opportunity to really do that yet at the full scale at Colorado.
Shady, I got to come to you for the same question because now I want to talk to you who's been recruited at a high level. Obviously, James will land that plane as you. I was thinking about this morning driving into work. I was like, if Prime were to recruit me or Lincoln were to recruit me, or if Prime were to recruit me or Dan Lanning were to recruit me, where am I going and why?
That's an easy one.
And why? Because, like, when I was coming out of college, Pete Carroll did recruit me and Matt Brown did recruit me and Lloyd Carr might have been the coach at Michigan at the time. He did recruit me. So why am I making my decision? I wanted to go to Auburn because Auburn was Under Armour. I wanted to go to Oklahoma State because they had black jerseys. But then I was like, no, let me go to Texas. Shady, when you think about the recruiting of it all, Oregon wins 42-6. If USC goes in there and beats them boys down, how does that affect the 18-year-old, 17-year-old LeSean McCoy, the future 5-star?
It won't affect them because kids will think like this. If I could play for Coach Prime, I could be playing in front of The Rock, Jay-Z, Beyonce, the whole Speed Crew, all these other people, these artists. That's what it is. It's all about the entertainment game, right? Like, kids love that. If you look at all the big-time schools when the old players come back, like, kids love to see all that. I used to play at Pittsburgh. I love to see Larry Fitzgerald and Darrell Reeves, like all them type of things. So now you bring a guy like Coach Prime who did it on the field, now he's on as a coach, and you're bringing that type of culture to Colorado. Think about the people, real quick. Think about the people and the players from Colorado. They never seen nothing like this. They talking about Colorado like it's an NFL team. And as a young 17, 18-year-old kid, you want to play for that. I had a chance to be highly recruited. I was a 5-star and all that type of stuff. I mean, and Reggie Bush was my host at USC. This was Reggie Bush. And I could just only imagine, like, wow, I'm with Reggie Bush. Snoop Dogg, he came to the game. It's the same thing as a kid. I'm like, I can't wait to be part of this. Now, granted, I got hurt that year and it was too far, so I didn't go. But I say all that to say this. I wanted to be there, though. Now you look at Coach Prime, where it's so easy for him. People want to come to the game for him and be around his organization. So I think that the difference was at the USC is they were winning and everything, and people want to be a part of that. Where Coach Prime, that energy he gives off, you want to be a part of that. So I just think that now going forward, he's going to give you the picture. Listen, you see what I'm building. You see what it is. You see what I turned around. All we need is you. All we need is you. We need you. And if I have y'all, we're going to be spanking Oregon 42-6. We're going to be spanking USC. And that's what's going to change it.
Number one, Prime will never lose in recruiting. Never. That is why this thing is going to get changed around. I mean, he got 5 stars decommitting and coming to HBCUs. And the main reason why Deion will not lose in recruiting, because when I was going through the whole recruiting process, certain coaches told me, move out the way. We got to get your parents on board. And when Prime walks in the house, and he can relate to every situation that these young fellas have been in and every situation that these young fellas is going to go through. And the stuff that Prime is preaching, he's winning these parents over. And that's winning recruiting when he walks into them houses. So he will never lose that recruiting because we all know that Prime could talk with the best of them. When he walk in that house, right, he could talk with the best. Just like my coach always used to tell me, he said, you ever go to like a fancy restaurant and it's not really a long wait, but if you go to the hood and the line wrapped around the corner, he say, it ain't the ambiance, it's the chef. Dion, the chef in there. And he is cooking all that stuff up. He will never lose that recruit.
Who you say the top 3 college coaches are right now in college football?
Kirby Smart,
Nick Saban,
Lincoln Riley.
That's the thing with Dion or Coach Prime because he going to, like you talk about going and talk to the family. No other coach can relate to a player like Deion Sanders can. I've been there. The places you want to go, I've been there at a high level. The things you might struggle with, I've struggled with them. Everything as a player you want to talk about with the family and the player, he can relate to.
Question for you.
The other coaches, they can't say that.
Question for you, because I remember my coach said this to me in recruiting. And Shady said something. Shady said something.
I got recruited too, by the way. It's not for football.
The track star, resident track star on set. My coach said, we don't need you, but we'd love to have you. You said that Dion would say, and Dion has to say, his best pitch is, hey, all we need is you. But my coach said at Texas, we don't need you. We'd love to have you. Like, whether you commit to us or not, it ain't really gonna move the needle.
Yeah, but that's Texas.
Still going to the ship.
That eventually he eventually can get to that point. When you building this thing up, we do need you.
But imagine if he's saying we need you. And it was a different day. And rightfully so. But Lincoln is saying we'd love to have you. Lanning is saying we'd love to have you. Kirby is saying we'd love to have you.
I don't know they're saying that anymore. I don't know they're saying that no more. I don't know how much you've been around recruiting. They ain't telling them we love to have you.
Ricky Williams, they ain't tell him that. They say, hold up, Ricky, we need you in Texas. Bitch Young, we need you in Texas.
Whatever you need. Recruiting is crazy.
Texas is Texas, though.
Kirby might say that.
That's facts. Kirby might be the only one.
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.